Hi, hello, welcome to the Daily Tarot Buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Princess Ablosi. I will be your oracle today, and I was sent to deliberate the findings for the transiting moon into Gemini. If you're new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. It's a delight and an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me to do so. If anything is said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. Always remember to smash that like button. Today we will be imposing the guidance from This Might Hurt Tarot. That's by Isabella Rotman over at Liminal 11 Publishing. Vertex of Abundance is the Galactic Temple of Ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. Again, if anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button. Just a little bit of housekeeping. If the reading goes a little bit too long or if it's a little bit too slow, you can always increase the playback. The amount of time will look like it's the same, but since it's playing faster, you can reduce the video up to one half. In addition, not always, but usually between the Hamza hands and the about section, sometimes called the description box or the show notes, there's a link between the Hamza hands. It's a summary. And that'll give you a little bit of abbreviation. We're going to lay 4 cards, like I said, from This Might Hurt Tarot. That'll be the core centralized energy here as we gather here today for the Daily Tarot Buffet. We will lay additional cards. Those will clarify and modify these original guidance that I'm imposing. So we'll also be using the Daily Oracle by Vela Sibila to clarify any correlative or corresponding energy. We'll also be using the minor arcana from Cosmic Coven Tarot to deliberate the findings for any type of pairing energy, and that's by Lillian Lazenby over at Ripe Avocado. Okay, so sometimes, like I said, you can always speed up, fast forward, because on occasion there's a moment of pause. This is the Vita Sibila here. Okay, so if love comes out, union, communion, partnership, I'll clarify that with another deck and we'll talk about it then. So we have the Page of Wands, Eight of Swords, King of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. Again, Page of Wands, Eight of Swords, King of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. One more time, Page of Wands, Eight of Swords, King of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. Page of Wands is the, I'm hearing tribute, which is not true. That's usually Page of Pentacles. This is the target, also known as the golden child. Typically, we're being prepared to receive some type of transmission, usually because of our lineage or the family of association. It can, our bloodline. It can also be that we are just beginning to learn about our drive, desires, passions, motivations, because there's rules, regulations, restrictions here. We might be wrangled down or restrained in some kind of way, maybe second guessing or bound, not necessarily by the universe, but by our timeline intersecting with another person's, or we're bound within a timeline. Now, again, it's not always about binding, but it can be, especially if we're dealing with another person. Now, this King of Pentacles is usually manifestation of our practical skills. It can be mastery of our practical skill, a manifestation of our security, something that we own or have invested into. Okay. It can be also somebody with their sun in a earth sign, I'm hearing. Now the 10 of swords, that for me is damnation. Now it can be a collapse, a rupture. It can also be a hex breaking, a curse breaking, a spell lifting. It typically talks about karmic punishment and purification. The end of a difficult cycle, it could signal an ordeal. We need additional energies to know for sure. We have the Eight of Wands. Page of Wands, Eight of Wands is feeling expansive. We have the Eight of Wands star, Page of Cups with the Tower here. So the Ten of Swords can be very much a rupture or collapse. With the Tower and the Star card, that could be healing from crisis or survival mode, to be honest. With this Eight of Wands and Tower, that could tell us that there's some kind of energy being projected because there's a pair of eights already. So we have a little bit of spell work or manipulation or rumination or time and indulgences. This Tower in the Star card is talking specifically about actually the sacred flame. So that's one of the nine Melchizedek combinations, 17 plus 8, 17 plus 16 equals 33. So we have the devil. We have two of the three baneful brigado here, but it's coming opposed the Knight of Cups. So that could talk about some type of Cancer rising. We could also have a Capricorn rising here with the Page of Cups. Page of Cups devil typically means a descendant in Capricorn, but we need some other energies because right now all that star zodiac energy is being negated because with the Tower here in the Eight of Wands, it's actually saying, hey, you have a dark projection. There's some kind of vectoring of a dark energy of a dark goddess. It's designed to delete or cancel us out. And we don't have another person appearing yet. But with the Tower card and this devil, it would mean, okay, there's going to be some damnation. Ten of Swords. And the devil with this Knight of Cups or Page of Cups would mean seduction, swindling. And I'm not talking about Casanova type of swindling. I'm talking about, thief in the night. They don't just steal your money, steal your car, they steal your soul. With the Hermit here and the Three of Cups, yeah, this is a dark coven. There is something that's entitled or toxic here, definitely manipulative. It can't even be, narcissistic, a narc energy. And I've been hearing I'm wishing on a star, I'm wishing on a rainbow. So we could be somebody's dream comes true. We could be being targeted by them because they want to do some type of dark soul union. And this has got nasty McNasty. Let's confirm that we're actually in Gemini right quick. We'll be back. We are in Gemini, my dear, but I had the dates wrong. So let me tell you what's going on. I just had to because I'm about to lay it down. Okay, so it's some nasty McNasty. It's awful. And that's creating a narrative, so I will tell us how to navigate out of it. We're doing just fine. We're doing just fine. We're doing all right. We're doing just fine. Let me say this though. During the Cancer season, when anything is transiting the sign of Gemini, we have what's called the 12th house event. Okay. Now, the event that we're having is a lunation, a lunar event, a moon event. So that means for a couple few days, there's going to be increased insight and intuition according to the 12th house. Things that are going on behind our back, things that are going on over our head, things that are going on out of our hands. It can be also sudden if it's a expense. All of a sudden, there's an expense to pay. It might not have been incurred by us, but it needs to be taken care of us. It could be anything from a major expense like you got to get all four of your tires replaced, or some kind of family member comes into town, you need to leave them on your couch for a couple few weeks, or your child, your offspring does something silly or unwise or rash or whatever, and you got a couple $1,000s of expenses that you are responsible for. And it could be because You know, there's other accountability, responsibility, judgment, society. They could embarrass you in front of a friend or the school or the city because there's some kind of fine or fee or something like that. It also could be like institutions, so like jails, rehabs, hospitals. It can also talk about education, where all of a sudden there's something that didn't quite pull through, come through because there's a karmic tie, a karmic connection to an energy entity ideology. Now, again, it also can talk about our ancestors, not always the benevolent ones, okay? Oftentimes, yes, but benevolent ancestors is the 11th house. These could be the ones that didn't completely go into the white light. Now, it typically deals with the 12th houses. Think of it as like the airport between this life and the next life. It's not always about dreams, but it very much can include dreams. But it's the entire astral. It's not just the lower astral. So it can talk about benevolent. It can talk about all of that, like the ascended masters, the benevolent ancestors, our spirit team, meaning our guides and our guardian angels. But it also can talk about the things that are hindering and blocking. So the 12th house will tell you about the conditions of our demise, meaning when we fully and permanently transition from this life. It also can just talk about where we go when we sleep, okay? Because the event that takes place for our demise is eighth house, but where we go or the conditions on that is the 12th house. And literally the location that we'll go to after is the seventh house. I can go deeper, but why? We're dealing with the 12th house. So these are things that are going on over our head, behind our back, outside of our hands that we can't do not know much, nothing about. Okay. And think of it as like not really karmic debt, sixth house, but the opposite of that, karmic expenses. I know one would think that the opposite of a karmic debt is a karmic asset or karmic payout or karmic windfall. Again, that's the 11th house. So we're going from this. Yeah, the tables are turning. Something's being switched up. The heavens or the cosmos over the next 2 months has judged something to be on our side. Now, there was a bitter, acerbic, prickly, cold energy on this other energy entity ideology, whether it was our lower self, our former self, something like that, whatever, what have you, so on and so forth. Don't matter, don't care. Okay. It could be something in respect to, well, there's an energy entity ideology here in the form of an enemy, in the form of another person. And I would say enemy because we have two of the three Baneful Brigado with the Queen of Swords and this devil energy, which is sustained, even though there is a little bit, a little tiny bit, a little tiny bit of energy to negate it. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough, okay? I don't care about no little King of Pentacles when you got the Eight of Wands and this Queen of Swords and this Hermit coming out right next to it. You ain't got no Strength card. You ain't got no World card. The Two of Pentacles ain't doing not no nothing. It's not enough. It's not enough. Not with a double eight here. Come on now. Projection, oppression, repression, suppression, depression, this nasty, bigoted, cruel, cunning, bitter, nasty McNasty. That's what this is. That's what this be. I'm sorry. So if it's on the 12th house, it means that there's been this malevolent, amorphous, amalgamous blob always doing a little creepily, the little rickety sneaky tweaky, some abstract time or another throughout our life. It might be generational, okay? It might be you make 2 steps forward, you got to take another one back. You make 5 steps forward, you got to take two, three back. You can't quite get enough to get ahead. You can't quite get up out of something, always sneaks and creeps back in. You can't quite get around something, it always falls right back down at the last little moment. You can't roll that ball all the way up the hill. It's going to fall back down. It's going to creep back down. It might even run you down. Something like that. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm sensing. That's what I'm seeing. Okay. So we're going to do a little magic and to clarify, but let's keep going. Yeah, Five of Swords. This is definitely malevolent, malicious, because we have three of the eights and two of the fours. That means suppress, oppress, repress, depress. We got the in a bottle and in a sunken place. Okay, that's just a no. Yeah, because there's some energy entity ideology here that wants to use our energy to make it into heaven. It's like I'm getting Sookie Stackhouse, that little warlord that follows her through the time and eons and the bloodline and the 5,000 years he was waiting for her. Let me leave that alone. And wasn't it because she was related to Niall Brigand, the royal fairy king? Wasn't she like a royal fairy? And wasn't the first cut out royal lineage? Let me be quiet. Let me be quiet. So there's a lot of little dogs fighting over us. We're like some little bone that all the little doggy McDoggies need to come and fight over. Okay, oh, that's a no. Excuse my language. That's just get gone. I don't have nice things to say. I'm out of kindness. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Gosh, this is mean. Um, well, let me say it like this. Somebody's ancestor is saying, "Go play in traffic, Brenda. Go breathe underwater." That's not nice. See, what I would say is blessings to your healing and awakening. Peace be upon you, Wa'alek, and upon you. Meaning, I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off of me and goes back to you. Because even when people choose an evil path, they're under the impression that it leads to happiness. Because if they knew better, they would do better. And even that little, tiny, tiny, tiny little sliver of the folks that are like born under a dark covenant, it's because they don't exit that covenant because they believe that that's the best that they could do. Honestly, anybody could repledge their life to the divine, and the divine can always break a dark covenant. Doesn't mean that they'll get bestowed blessings and anointings and all of that in this life, but they're saved. Even with unclean hands, something could still be worked out. Doesn't mean doesn't mean you become chosen and blessed and highly favored and anointed in this life. It doesn't mean that you receive glory or favor or clearance or grace or glory, but or favor, I mean, but it doesn't mean that you need to be in damnation. If you live the rest of your life reprobate, there's something that could be done. So like I wouldn't go say like, go play in traffic, Tammy, go breathe underwater, Brenda, go walk off a cliff, Claudia, go step in front of a bus. Like that's not nice. But that is what I'm hearing. So that tells me that something here is nasty because there's some bitterness with this Queen of Swords. Five of Swords is just nasty. It's betrayal, it's bitter, it's dogged, and also it's like a hatred. And then you have the Five of Wands, which is a jealousy. So what is going on? Because I'm not getting the best energy here at all. At all. Now we can have a Capricorn because the King of Pentacles is here and it is knighting the devil. It's not just a Capricorn, it could also be an Aries rising. But I gotta rattle and prattle through these things here because it's not enough. Okay, so Ten of Swords and the devil is damnation. Ten of Cups and the devil is abuse, violence, physical violence. Five of Wands and the devil is demons, hellfire. Five of Swords and the devil is an archdemon. Two of Pentacles and the devil is actually a 10-foot pole. If you're down with the devil, use a 10-foot spoon or something like that. I forget. Eight of Cups and the devil is an attachment. It's an enmeshment. Somebody that's codependent won't leave. Four of Swords and the devil is pinned down in a jar. Somebody literally has been pinned down in a jar. It's like a sunken head or, you know, torture device. Judgment and the devil is the past coming back to haunt or confront. Four of Cups and the devil is left in a sunken place. It's that movie Get Out. Three of Cups and the devil is lies, gossip, slander. Hermit and the devil is a narcissist, somebody who's entitled or manipulative. Page of Cups and the devil, that is um, an experience that's really, really bad, very, very traumatic. Typically, it could be somebody that makes false claims as well. And think of it as a honeypot too. So they're the bait for something irrevocable. Star card in the devil, that's a dark future or pessimism. Knight of Cups in the devil, that's a swindler. It could also be somebody that is a Cancer rising, but that's a swindler. Uh, Tower in the devil, that's inevitable fighting, but also breaking free from prison. Sometimes you need to stay there. King of Pentacles in the devil, with not know nothing sufficient for negation, that's actually somebody that's unscrupulous with their money. They're they're like a Ponzi scheme kind of that prolific. Ten of Swords in the devil, like I said, is um, damnation. Eight of Swords in the devil, that is confinement. Page of Wands in the devil, that is a religious zealot or somebody who's a target, like a sacrificial lamb. Okay. Did you hear everything I said? Okay. So, how do we navigate out of this? Because what was that? I'm sorry, what? Okay, so we have the King of Cups. That's what's crowning the reading, and that's the capstone. Now, the cornerstone equates to this King of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. Something gets revoked, canceled. Revocation, withdrawal. Revocation alone with the Five of Swords also can be withdrawal. Withdrawal alone with Eight of Cups. So withdrawal is definitely here. King of Cups, Eight of Cups, wanting king to withdraw. Eight of Cups, wanting king to detach. Four of Cups. You feel me? You hear me? Queen of Swords, Four of Swords. That's wanting containment, needing containment. Queens are needs, kings are wants, knights are desires, and the pages are feelings. So, King of Cups, Four of Cups, like I said, wanting to detach. Queen of Swords, Four of Swords, that's needing containment. Queen of Swords, Five of Swords, that could be needing standards and boundaries or needing to block something. King of Cups, Ten of Cups, that's wanting fulfillment here, but it's on the backs of something. Because King of Cups, Devil, that does mean, that's one of the most abusive combinations in the deck. With the Ten of Cups, that's abuse. Usually physical, could be sexual. I'll leave that right there and move on. Now, King of Cups and the Devil can also mean a Cancer midheaven, which would be an Libra rising. We also have a Cancer rising here. Cancer rising is confirmed. Libra rising is confirmed. Capricorn midheaven, which means Aries rising, is confirmed. So this energy of wanting fulfillment, what's happening though is we have to go through some type of karmic lesson. We need to withdraw our time, energy, effort, and attention from a place or space because there's a quarantine there. It's a dark principality of some kind. If we go there, there's a suppression mechanism. And what we did do was gain witness in this environment surrounding location, Three of Cups. But that was the thing. It was never supposed to pan out, work out. If we're facing resistance, we need to leave. We might be at a job, we might be working, especially if it's working around education or healthcare or like government. And if we've been called to leave, if we've been called to get up out of there, walk. Because there was a purpose that we were serving there, and it was some type of bearing witness. A divine soul needed to go up in there, Three of Cups, where God or the Lord or the divine or Pachamama, Allah, Buddha, Shekinah, Jehovah, whatever, what have you, whatever works and resonates with you. We were supposed to go up in there and witness, view. Three of Cups, testimony, witness, and answered prayer. Because that was going to cause some rupture, some ending. Ten of Swords, because the Four of Swords and the Eight of Swords mean arraignment, and the judge would be the King or Queen of Swords, which we have here. The judgment is out here too. So this is the celestial court in session, Four of Swords with the judgment. But we needed to get up energy, get up out of this place because the tower will fall. Ten of Swords in the tower. That's a rupture. That's a collapse. That's a breakdown. And it is inevitable. Four of Swords, Five of Swords, Ten of Swords. Inevitable. With the judgment, inevitable! Exclamation point. You heard me? You feel me? It's not an if, it's a when. So part of this, we might have been wondering when this little gonna get their karma, when this Mr. Mother effer gonna have his comeuppance. That's not our job to worry about. Our job is to love on them and to bless them and to, intercede before the divine on their behalf to say, forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. Please heal this child. Please heal their soul. Please illumine their path. Please order their steps. Please bring them back to the kingdom. Heal them in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. That was our job. But some people are nasty on purpose, and that's really out of our department. You won't need to watch these videos if you know how to handle those people, okay? Because you'll already be what's called a dark chosen one. You'll be anointed with the kind of license that's 00 whatever. And you don't need to lay hands on a person to send them to the next life either. That's not to be talked about out loud. Those type of people are usually have very strong Scorpio energy anyways, and it's because they pull demons out of hell or cast them in there. That's why they're Reaper. It's not always a material thing either. It's not always in the spirit and the flesh. It's in the spirit, not always the flesh. Okay, so this King of Cups, we're supposed to come here and withdraw our energy. Five of Wands clarified by the Four of Swords and the Eight of Swords. We went through some type of trial and tribulation, some type of discernment. We had to abandon or leave something behind through pilgrimage. We needed to get up from the table and leave. Confirmed by this Four of Cups detachment, go all the way to the bottom in that line of incarnation, Ten of Swords. It's a collapse. We probably got stabbed in the back or had some type of major awakening and epiphany here. Because we're a natural born witch, and since we came holding a cup, bearing our soul in our hand with our heart on our sleeve, and they tried to bind us and use us as some kind of target practice, or no, the dinosaurs isn't here. But since we were targeted for being a being of love, since we didn't perpetuate the darkness and they attacked us for that, they squandered their blessings. Their contract is forfeit. They forfeit the game. So we have a pair of kings, King of Cups and King of Pentacles. So that usually means an alliance of some kind. We were a little bit unhealed, unawakened, or there was a misattribution or veil or facade or glamour over the situation. There was an agreement that we probably weren't aware of, and this was a swamp soul. Somebody living in the unhealed, unawakened, yet to return to the grace of the divine. And what they wanted was an inroad for somebody that could have been a target. They needed somebody to mount, to ride, to implant a demon. And I'm just going to say it like that and move on. Where's this pair of tens, 10 of cups, 10 of swords, please? A cycle completing, culminating, actually. Something happened where we were left to our own devices because we were high worth, high value, high deservedness. And somebody here was vainglorious, prideful, illusionary success. We have a pair of fives here, 5 of wands and 5 of swords. Overall energy is the 5 of swords. So what got blocked? Okay, so we put an end to some type of cabal, dark cabal. Because what they wanted to do was switch heads with souls that had already been anointed and received grace. And it was some type of racket, an illusion, a group projection. That's the curtain, Wizard of Oz. We got a chance to peek behind the curtain. We have a pair of swords here, 4 of cups and 4 of swords. A pair of swords means oppress, repress, suppress, depress, unless there's the 4 of wands there, and then it means moving to the next stage. We have another four. So mirror magic, they were looking for targets. And I don't know what this is because it doesn't need to be another person, but it is. So um, the only other way to look at it is there's elements going on to keep us in samsara, trapped in the incarnation of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death, never making it free to go to heaven and stay there. It's called being free and at peace. If you don't use the technology of heaven, I understand and respect that. I'm just saying we were gonna have to, this is a song that doesn't and doesn't end, and it goes on and on, my friend. When people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because this is a song that does. Imagine that for all eternity. And it goes on, my friends. Yeah, so this energy gets down, gets around by being dogged and dirty. They're a friend of me. They're a hater. They're a professional hater. So what's this pair of eights? And if it wasn't dealing with an enemy, we were dealing with an archdemon. They don't always look like a demon with horns and breathing fire out of their mouth. Sometimes you walk right into the trap and it's not easily discernible. You might be running through your logical and rational mind saying, but, I don't believe it because it's not a rational, ordinary, logical, factual thing that you could look at and see, and you can't even find it on Google. So that's what's up. So this is true though. They're looking for people to pin down in a jar. Literally, they want a farm of sunken heads. Yeah, so this is the ripples of a false heart. It's a false flame. Four swords would not be there. They need to pin people in the heart chakra. What that is. They need to lock down and close down hearts. That's what this binding is about, Eight of Swords. We have a pair of, we have a triple eight, actually. So this triple eight is a compact. It's also a racket. And it's a compound spell. We call it a binding cord, and not a cord that's used to cut or to bind, but literally it's like a braided spell. It's like spells weaved into other spells, weaved into other spells. So we are feeling constricted or feeling confined, feeling blocked in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. But the thing, because it was like that, it was a multi-layered attack. They wanted to see, okay, what are we doing with the 12th house? We should be talking about liberation of moksha, go into the divine, praying in temples, breathing in humsa, out humsa, mani padme hum, not all this devil and his minions. What is this? What is this? I just have to let that out because this is obnoxious. Queen of Swords star card, that could be Aquarius moon or Scorpio rising. It's Aquarius moon or Scorpio rising or a bitter. Or I said or a bitter. This is somebody that's a depressive, they're moped open. They need to accept defeat and move on and move forward, get them something going on, find them something to do. It's unpleasant. I'm coming for your heart, but that's what's up. Because they're looking at somebody with supreme authority who's live and in charge, large and in charge. And they're feeling some kind of way about it because this person is indomitable, they're fearless, and they can't overcome them. And nobody's really fearless if they can stand in their power and seem fearless to person that has less power than them. And having power is not so much about counting your power in the world. Not all power is power of force. Right? Sometimes people just know themselves and it's unshakable. And for a person that's weak and that needs to tear a person down and feel better about themselves, that finds meaning in life by demeaning another person, that's terrifying. There's nothing more terrifying to a toxic individual than an authentic soul. Let me tell you that. So we're discerning, yeah, because this is hellfire, bottom of the barrel, five of wands. Bottom of the bucket, five of cups. Crab in a bucket, five of cups. Bottom of the barrel, five of wands. This is some mess, okay? Seven of wands. Yeah, so somebody's anxious and fighting. Another five because they're feeling abandoned, left out in the cold. They've been denied access, but they're of an opposing mind. We told them no. I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Yeah, because we wouldn't open up our heart, or we wouldn't accept some kind of offer, but it was a false one. You know the messengers, so we have Page of Cups here with the Page of Wands. So it's a pair of pages. You give me multiple messages or students or children. This part is not exciting. This is like, you know, there we go. We got it. Oh, okay. So it could be prospecting. That's a very abstract. Yeah, it actually is. Because we got two pages in clarifications, and then it's prospecting. Somebody's looking for an open window or an unlocked door, some kind of loose thread to unravel, some kind of they're looking to see how to get through and get in. Because something was designed to destroy our soul and it didn't do much and not know nothing. And it might not be that we're dealing with a specific person, but that just can't be true. That just cannot be true. It just cannot. It just can't. But the way that this reads and the time of the month that it's in, since we're talking about the 12th house, it doesn't have to be a person. But listen, in my little 29 years of reading cards, I'll tell you that's what it is. Now, it could just be that there's this malevolent, malignant, malicious energy hanging around our bloodline, hanging around our timeline, sitting there wanting to take our crown. And the thing about the 12th house is it's the 12th dimension, which means the devil can only get to the 10th dimension. He can't get beyond that because he's lost his crown. He's fallen. He can't get to the upper, he can't enter the Imperium unless he's invited in or summoned. So somebody here has a cross to bear, number one, and number two, they're depressive. They're moped up and around because they don't have access to the inner chambers. Astanza, they can't come in and be alone unmonitored. They don't get full visitation rights. It's supervised visitation. You hear what I'm saying? I want to know what this Ten of Wands and the Tower is. Yeah, so there definitely was an intention to do some type of spell work or ritual, and or basically, I'm going to say it to you different. There was an intention for a dark soul tie, a dark union, and that would have had to come in through an agent of the dark, and maybe or maybe not. We know who this agent of the dark is, but that's the tactic that's been going on. Who knows for how long? Because this is the 12th house. It's very much giving me Sookie Stackhouse. Sookie, Sookie Stackhouse. It's very much giving me Silky Stackhouse. There is some kind of modus operandi, some kind of moving secret, reeky deeky sneaky tweaky, and it's collective, a cabal, a coven, a clique, or something nasty, something foolish, something shameful. So it's been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the pleasure to do so. Hey, if anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button. I'm so sorry that this was nasty McNasty. I'm not really sorry, but we had to take it there, and I don't like that. It's unpleasant, but I did what I did because that's the job. Let me just take a peek here. Yeah, it's not getting any better. It still keeps going hard. Feeling burdened, feeling weighed down, karmic debt, some kind of raider, some kind of person trying to seize and steal and thief around. Oh, this is just not it. This is just not it. Yeah, because it's a demon overlord. It's a demon king. Okay, take good care. I don't know what that was, but peace be upon you. Blessings to your healing and awakening. I want to say a quick prayer for all those still lost out there to illusion, delusion, confusion, lost in the seas of time, trapped somewhere in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the splendid grace of the divine, unconditional, loving, universal oneness. Upon we love you. We're sorry. Please forgive us. Thank you. We ask that our steps be ordered, our path be illuminated, and that we find salvation and redemption in this lifetime. May we be well, may we be happy, may we be at peace, may we receive everything we ever wanted, starting with what we deserve. Go ahead and smash that like button. I'll see you in the next one. Take good care, and bye-bye.